Joining us now is the chairman and CEO of One Championship, Chatri Sityodtong. Thank you for joining us, Chatri. What a great event tonight. Can you share with us your overall thoughts on the event?
I think the main card was crazy. I think it was TKO, KO, 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 and then an all-out war, and then another all-out war. It was just, I mean, the co-main and main were just, insane.
There's a little bit of controversy at the main event of the Christian Lee versus Oak fight. What are your thoughts on that one?
I thought it was a very close fight, but I personally thought the judges got it wrong. I thought Christian Lee won unanimously. I thought that he had effectively two knockdowns. Right? He had one really spectacular knockdown. I think it was a second or third round. And in the fifth, again, he was about to finish Oak. Now, I do think it was a close fight because, even though Christian did have the takedown attempts and the near submission from the back standing, and then the two, one knockdown and one, clearly Oak was hurt in the fifth round. Oak landed a lot of straight rights. So it is what it is, but I think the judges got it wrong. I just, Oak is clearly one of the best lightweights on the planet, full stop, for any organization. Oak Rayun just went through Marat, Eddie, and then, he had a very close fight with Christian. I'd like, to talk to both of them and stuff and see what might transpire. But I mean, yeah, I definitely thought that Christian won the fight, even though it was close.
Chatri, we're going to open the floor now to the media. This first question will go to Nisi Icasiano of IB Times. Nisi, the floor is yours.
Hey, Chatri, good evening.
Hey, Nisi, how are you?
Chatri, I just want to comment on what Dana White said most recently regarding the hybrid MMA match that you're planning to put up this coming December.
I didn't catch all the comments. I mean, somebody had told me he mentioned something, but I wasn't clear, so I didn't watch the comments or anything. What do you say?
Now that Rod Tang tested positive for COVID-19, does that put the fight in danger this coming December?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, first of all, I wish Rod Tang, a full and speedy recovery from COVID. So, COVID obviously hits people in different ways. Some people are asymptomatic, and some people obviously, have a lot of difficulty in it, and many people obviously pass away. So I hope that Rod Tang has a speedy and full recovery. So I'm not even thinking right now about December 5th. I'm really just focused on, wishing him a full recovery.
Thank you, Chatri.
Thank you for your question, Nisi. Our next question will go to Nick Akin of South China Morning Post MMA.
Hey, Chatri. Yeah, I think you spoke about it already, but Christian and do you think we can do? Are you going to do a rematch? And do you think December is too soon? Would you like to see that for the 10th anniversary show?
I don't know. I mean, what was the general consensus, by the way, on the Christian Lee versus Rayun Oak fight? I'm just curious what people thought out there. In the media, what did you guys think? I'm just curious.
Well, we had our fight companion. I think all of us on that thought Christian won, and we were definitely shocked. And I mean, even looking at Oak's face, like, I think he was surprised.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I thought the judges got it wrong on this one. But I guess it's one of these things, right? You have to finish fights, otherwise, the judging is, every major global organization in the world has this, where some fights just, bad judging sometimes.
And we saw that you very quickly reviewed Denise Zamboanga against Ham Sohi. Do you anticipate a review for this fight?
I don't know. I'd have to see. I did. Ken Christian's father had asked for a review, but again, it was just everything's happening so much. I so quickly. I didn't have time to talk to anybody. So I didn't have any words yet. I mean, I have to wait for all the officials and judges. But I mean, yeah.
And so many things happened. I'm just trying to think of what else I can ask you. But yeah, what do you think about what's next for Martin Nguyen? Because that was a shocking first round TKO there.
Yeah, I thought Martin made the same mistake he did with Tan. Martin obviously has massive KO power with that overhand right, but with an overhand right, you're going to be susceptible to short straight rights, right? And Martin, you could just see he leaned into it, overextended, and he didn't set anything up. So I think that was what I was surprised by today with Martin. He didn't really set up his shots, the way he would normally. And so when he tagged Kim with one punch, then he thought, okay, I'm just come in another one, but he didn't even no jab or anything, just loading up. And then so Kim just threw a straight right, and yeah, it was I think Martin has to go back to his more almost counter striking or patient way of striking, as opposed to head hunting.
And sorry, very quickly, I know there's other people on the chat. Just is that their next title shot for Kim against the winner?
Yes. Kim will face the winner of Gary Tonin and Tan Lei. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chatri.
Yep.
Thank you, Nick. Our next question goes to Leon Jennings of Asian Persuasion MMA.
Hey, Chatri.
Hey, Leon, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
I've got to say, I was on the side. I thought Christian won the fight, just to give you my feedback there. But on a positive note, who impressed you most? I mean, obviously there's some big performances tonight. Who impressed you most on this card tonight, or more than one?
Oh man, like I said, the main card was insane. I think Anatoly's KO was just vicious. What I realized from watching him in this fight is, he's a heavyweight. Obviously, he's a world-class wrestler, but his striking was very crisp. I mean, his timing, his head movement, his left hook. I mean, just he's got really natural striking ability. So obviously, coupled with world-class wrestling, Anatoly's now 10-0, so he's getting a title shot against Arjun Bular. Yeah, definitely deserved it.
Where does Kang Ji-won fit in the heavyweight division? Obviously, he's unbeaten as well. He's got a knockout win against Amir.
Yeah, so he was offered a few fights, but his eye hadn't recovered. So that he kind of he was offered Bushesha. He was offered a couple fights, and he turned them down because of his eye. I guess he hurt his retina against Alec Bari, right? Yeah. And since then, we've offered him, I think, 2 or 3 fights, and he's turned them down. So, I wish him a speedy recovery as well. I don't know. I haven't talked to him, so I don't know if his eye is still bothering him or not. But obviously, yeah, he's still early in his career. I think he's 4-0, 5-0. Obviously, impressive.
Yeah, I thought he might be injured. I thought it might still be the eye. Great.
Yeah.
Off topic, Ilyas Enahachi, Superlek. I think you disagreed with that result at the time, and that was going to be an immediate rematch. I was just thinking about this week. Is there any news when they might run it back?
Man, I have so many fight cards in my head, but yes, they've been offered that fight already for a upcoming card. I can't remember which one. I'm sorry. It's just I came straight from the stadium, to this PC because of all the bubbles and the restrictions. Yeah, I mean, it's been a little bit chaotic. So normally we obviously have our post-fight press conferences, in the stadium, but here we have it here in the hotel.
Yeah, got one last quick question. Capitan won again tonight, very competitive fight. There's been a little bit of talk between him and Nongo fighting either for the kickboxing title or the Muay Thai title. Is that a fight that we could see potentially in the next few months or next year?
It doesn't look like Capitan wants to challenge for the Muay Thai world title against Nongo. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I think it'd be a fun fight for the fans. And obviously Capitan does come from a Muay Thai background, and his daunted right hand and left hook. Imagine in 4-ounce gloves, the damage he would do. So it could be a fun fight. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Chatri.
Yep.
Thank you, Leon. Our next question goes to Raj Sarkar of Essentially Sports. Raj, the floor is yours.
Hello, Chatri. First of all, it has been an amazing night, back-to-back action. A lot of fighters really looked amazing tonight. So I just wanted to know which are the fighters that grab most of your attention?
Like I said, Anatoly to me, 10-0. It's amazing. Like obviously, he's had a tremendous run before one, but even during one, and he is world championship caliber. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I mean, the way he moves, his wrestling, his cardio, and his boxing, he's just he blew me away. Really, just incredible. And obviously, I was blown away by Kim Jae-woong as well. That technical right hand. I think many people were expecting Martin to knock Kim out, and so it was a real shocker. But yeah, I mean, main card, like I said, it was TKO, KO, 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 and then two absolute wars that were close fights.
Also, Stamp Theoretics recently took to Instagram, and it seems that the one atomweight Grand Prix results are out, and it seems Stamp Theoretics is going to face Ham, and Ritu Phogat is going to face Itsuki Hirata. So, what do you make of these matchups?
Well, the fans decided this one, right? So we announced during the broadcast, and so Itsuki faces Ritu, and Stamp faces Ham, and in a way, it's like the semifinals are two grapplers, and then the other side is two strikers, right? So it's a striker versus striker in one semifinal, and it's a grappler versus grappler in the other semis, and so the final is definitely going to be, it's going to be a striker versus a grappler final. So it's, I mean, the atomweight division is so close. I mean, the four athletes are just, phenomenal, and the margin for error, it's hard to pick who's going to win.
Also, Chatri, you recently took to social media and you posted that you have won a brown belt in BJJ, which is absolutely a big achievement. So, and in recent times, you've seen a lot of exhibition matchups, a lot of things happen, and fans are actually buying it. So, can we expect Chatri Sityodtong to enter into a BJJ or an exhibition event like that in the future, or maybe after years?
Against who? I'm not sure that fans want to see me. Obviously, I'm not a world championship caliber martial artist. I am a lifelong martial artist. I am an expert in Muay Thai, and I'm pretty decent at jiu-jitsu now. But I don't know if who would fans want to see me against?
Who do you want to fight? Like, if you are given the chance. Anyone from the celebrities?
Yeah,
or
I haven't even given it honestly a serious thought.
Maybe you versus Dana White someday.
Yeah, I mean, fans obviously always joke around about that one, but I don't think Dana is up for fighting.
Okay. Thanks. That's all from me.
Thank you, Raj. We're going to open the floor to Jude Brioses of Overtime Heroics MMA.
Hey, Chatri, good early morning.
Hey, good morning.
I also
Or
thought
good
Christian
night, yeah.
won. I also thought Christian won, but straying away from that controversial main event. How does it feel seeing all these new fighters coming into one and flourishing into absolute superstars? Like we saw Marcos Almeida win in the first round, a 17-year-old Victoria Lee win with another impressive win to go 3-0 at 17 years old, and of course we just saw Ok beat his third world champion in a row to win the belt. Is it pleasing to see these talents grow and reach the stars at one championship?
Yeah, we're again constantly scouring the globe. We have a scouting team all over the world. We look for the very, very best rising stars or established stars who are up for free agency and who are thinking about exploring other options. We're always in discussions with athletes all over the world. So, I always tell the competition team to we have to upgrade our roster every day, every week, every month. Even though again, many of the division I would argue are the world's best already, but you still want to keep that pipeline of the world's best talent coming in. So I think every division you can see just in the last 12 months what's happened with the heavyweight division, right? So it's a really exciting time for one right now.
Yeah, I agree. The one heavyweight division has really shaped up an impressive lineup. So yeah, thank you, Chatri.
Yep.
Our next question will go to Kyle Siegel of Going Live Podcast. Kyle, please go ahead.
I think he's on mute or something.
Sorry. Hey, Chatri. How are you doing?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good. No, thanks again for, giving us a great card. Congrats on your brown belt. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I'm sure that's something we won't see Dana ever doing anytime soon. But
I don't
seeing
think Dana knows how to fight, right? I think yeah, I mean it's different. I mean, I've been doing Muay Thai for 37 years, still train every day. I do BJJ 5-6 times a week. Yeah. So
Of course, but no. So I wanted to ask you, with the Wrong Tang COVID incident, of course, we want nothing more than him to get better. But sounds like you're just trying to pioneer more MMA, kind of matches. And do you think if it goes well, Wrong Tang recovers, he fights DJ, that you're just going to keep going this through different divisions too, creating this new style?
no, this whole Rotang DJ thing was what I asked my team was, I said, look, we're doing a 10th year anniversary. This is going to be the biggest show in the history of the company. And we want to do something spectacular and something different. And I said, let's also pay, homage to Asian MMA and the history of Asian MMA. Pride still, prior to One at the time was the greatest martial arts organization in the world. And Pride, I think, was 10 years, and then eventually, it got bought out. This is our 10th year anniversary. I said, look, let's do something, obviously, with world title fights, but then at the same time, let's do something that celebrates, the true spirit of, what Japan has started. People, I don't think people realize Shuto is actually the first mixed martial arts organization in history. I think it was started in 1983 or 84, around there. And it's still today, in Japan, obviously. And so, yeah, I just told my team, hey, think of a crazy fight that we could do that would, it's a once-off thing. It's not like we're going to do this every event or with other fighters. It was just a crazy idea to celebrate, Asian MMA.
That's awesome. Thank you again, Chatri. And thank you for this, another spectacular card where, you just keep delivering us, and we can't wait for the kickboxing tournament coming up. So,
right. Thanks a lot.
Our next question goes to Steve Irvine of MMA Radio. Steve, the floor is yours.
Hey, Steve. I think you're on
Steve, are you
mute.
with us?
I think it's on mute.
Hey, Chatri.
Hey, how are you, Steve?
Yeah, I'm not bad. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk. Congratulations on such a big event. The MMA community are talking very loudly about this, so congrats. It's amazing.
Hey, thank you so much. It's crazy night of fights. It's spectacular. I mean, the kickboxing, the Muay Thai fights, the MMA fight, it was just an all around, these are the world's greatest martial artists, like I always say, and one being the world's largest platform of martial arts, the world's largest stage of martial arts. That's why I said our roster for me is the greatest in the world.
It was truly amazing. I just want to ask one more question. So we know that ONE FC is going to be going to America, and we know that ONE has held an event in Europe before. But can ONE fans across in Europe and in the UK perhaps, could we see an official ONE card happening here over the next couple of years or so?
Yeah, no, definitely. When we look at the, our expansion plans and what's going to happen in the next few years, definitely Europe is on the map. Obviously, US is on the map first, but Europe is definitely up on the map, and even Latin America. We feel like obviously from our social and digital stats, we can see that our fans are truly global, all over the world. We've got crazy ONE fans who enjoy the variety and of martial arts that we celebrate on our stage, and then on top of it having the world's best martial artists.
It's fantastic. That's exactly what we want to hear. Thank you.
Yep.
Next question goes to Dylan Balker of My MMA News.
Hey there, Chatri. I appreciate you making some time.
Thank you, Dylan.
You were referencing Shudo a bit earlier, though, and Satoru Sayama, the founder there, obviously Tiger Mask in the professional wrestling world. Like, I know Arjun Buller has in past called out certain pro wrestlers for fights. Has there been any dialogue with any name value pro wrestlers about a possible mixed martial arts foray into the circle?
Yeah, again, like we're talking to athletes from all backgrounds all the time. And so, yes, there have been some pro wrestlers that have expressed interest. And, so we're always constantly in dialogue again with rising stars, established stars from all martial arts backgrounds. So, yeah, we have been in discussion, but nothing of note right now.
Fair enough. And then also Pride was kind of referenced there. Some sequences in that Buchecha fight kind of gave me flashbacks to Mark Coleman versus Igor Vovchanchin. Like, how cool is it for you, just on the level of, I guess, being a martial arts aficionado, to see such a, immensely decorated BJJ player utilize the global rule set?
Right. So, yeah, so here's the thing, right? It's if you look at our roster, we have world champions, across the platform. I mean, it's just crazy how many world champions we have from different disciplines from around the world who are either doing mixed martial arts or kickboxing or Muay Thai or et cetera, et cetera. We have, the GOAT, Gordon Ryan in submission grappling. He is on making progress for a comeback in terms of his submission grappling career. I heard he's fighting Andre Galvao in ADCC, I believe, next year. Buchecha, obviously the greatest jiu-jitsu stylist in terms of he or Roger Gracie, people will say, right? But I mean, it's you look at the Muay Thai guys, you look at kickboxing guys, you look at the mixed martial arts guys, DJ, the GOAT. You look at in kickboxing, Petrosian, the GOAT, right? I mean, I'm just out of our like 600 athletes, I want to say around half or so are like legit world champions in their individual disciplines. And that's what's so crazy about our roster. Like, no other roster in the world of any organization has the depth and collection of world titles from other organizations or in single disciplines than one. I mean, you just don't have that level of expertise. And that's why when, I kind of laugh when you see the Western organizations say, we have the best strikers in the world, blah, blah, blah. It's not true. It's just not true. You want to look at elite striking, you look at, a one Muay Thai match or one kickboxing. That is truly the best in the world. And, I'm speaking as a lifelong martial artist. I have 37 years of Muay Thai as a student, competitor, teacher, coach, whatever, and now a CEO. And I have about 16 years of jiu-jitsu, 10 years of no gi and 6 years of gi. And I'm speaking objectively as a lifelong martial artist. You look at the caliber, yeah. And so it's just watching Buchecha in action was amazing. When Buchecha was competing in BJJ, he's a heavyweight that moves like a featherweight. His balance, his explosiveness, he's just so light on his feet, his weight distribution. He has the X factor in jiu-jitsu. A lot of heavyweights in jiu-jitsu don't have that there, or even in striking for that matter. Very few heavyweights are super light on their feet with great balance, explosiveness in the way Buchecha is. So yeah, Buchecha has a massive future.
Appreciate the insights, and thanks for the time, Chatri.
Thank you.
Our next question will go to Jay Anderson of Cage Side Press. Jay Anderson, please proceed.
Hi, Jay.
Hey, Chatri, congrats on the event tonight. With the talk of you fighting Dana, which I think is kind of hilarious, how important is it for you to keep the athletes as the face of the promotion? Because in other companies, it does feel like the promoter sometimes overshadows the roster.
Like the two most common questions I get, like on my social media or even one championship, is when will there be a ONE versus UFC event? And I would love to do that in a heartbeat, champion versus champion. And then the second question I always get is, whenever, like, I don't know, my brown belt promotion, people are like, oh, then you go fight Dana. Or whenever I post a video of me doing Muay Thai, go fight Dana. Like, I honestly don't think that would be competitive. I mean, does Dana even do martial arts? I don't think so. I don't know what his background is, but yeah. I think he's an awesome businessman. He's a great fight promoter, but I don't think he does martial arts. Not that I know of.
Fair enough. And there's been talk of TV deals coming up, and I know AEW just announced that they are moving to TBS. You were kind of paired with them on TNT. Is there anything in the pipeline in terms of ONE going back to US TV, and
right.
Will it be on TNT or something else going forward?
Yeah, so CAA represents us in the US. I can tell you that we've been on a US media rights roadshow the last several weeks. talking to all the major network broadcasters as well as the digital players in the US. Knock on wood, if conversations continue as they are, we will have some good news to announce, in the coming weeks. But again, still, we're right in the middle of it. So yeah. And obviously Turner is in those discussions as well, but it's just we're talking to every broadcaster. CAA lined this up for us.
And last one for me, obviously, Oak got the win tonight. There's the possibility of the rematch, and there's also Eddie Alvarez, who has fought and lost to the new champ. Is there anything planned for him coming up?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, I love Eddie. He's a phenomenal fighter, and I still think, he hasn't had great performances in one, but is he still amongst the best lightweights on the planet? For sure. I mean, I think when he left the UFC, I think he was number 3 or number 4 ranked lightweight in the UFC, and then he came over here and then he got knocked out. And then I think he's had a couple losses here in one, right? So I think he needs to find his footing a bit. And then, like I've always said, Eddie's won the UFC title, he's won the Bellator title, and the only other global organization he hasn't won the world title is with one, right? So yeah, I think his pedigree, his career credentials, if he puts a few wins together, or even a 1 or 2 big wins, I think he deserves a title shot.
All right. Well, thanks very much again.
Yep.
Next question goes to David Umall of CNN.
Hi, David. How are you?
Good. Really enjoy the fights, Chatri. Just want to ask, what are your plans or one championship plans for the up and coming Team Lakay fighters, like Stephen Laman and Jan Sandiao?
Sorry, you broke up. What are the plans for what?
For the up and coming Team Lakay fighters like Stephen Laman and Janlo Sandiao.
I'm just blown away by Joshua Pasel's performance tonight. He made it look easy. He did. Team Lakay, a bunch of members had COVID earlier this year. I was concerned about ring rust for Joshua, but I mean, he just destroyed Yosuke. I mean, it was not even close. The Team Lakay guys, I'm really blown away by the younger generation. I can't wait for Janlo Sangyao's debut. I can't wait for Stephen Loman's debut. Team Lakay, genuinely one of the greatest teams on the planet. Full stop. Full stop.
Okay, appreciate it, Chatri. Thank you.
This next question goes to Bong Lozada of Phil Daily Inquirer. Bong, please go ahead.
Hey, Chatri. Good evening.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. So, it's about what Dana said earlier. So I'm just gonna read out what he said. So,
okay.
So what Dana said was the special rules fight was weird and won't work. He said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you want to watch Muay Thai, watch Muay Thai. What is your response to that?
First of all, like I said, Dana is a great businessman, but he doesn't know anything about martial arts. I don't even think he knows how to throw a leg kick. He talks like it with his athletes, but I don't think he can. Love to see a video of him throwing a leg kick. So I don't think even he's qualified to talk about Muay Thai. So for me, it's we have a different approach. UFC is the largest mixed martial arts organization in the world. One is the largest martial arts organization in that we have many verticals of martial arts, right? We have mixed martial arts, we have Muay Thai, we have kickboxing, we've even had a boxing world title fight, we've had submission grappling. We try to, excite and delight and surprise combat sports fans from all over the world and from all genres. We really try we spent a lot of time, or I did, thinking about our hashtag and our hashtag is We Are One. In many ways, it's not just about martial arts being one. I do believe all martial artists on the planet, irrespective of whether it's karate or taekwondo or wrestling or boxing or Muay Thai, we're all on the same path, man. Like for me to, again, like I just think back to my 16 years in jiu-jitsu. That path is the same thing for a karateka, for a wrestler, for anything. So it's like, that's one is the home of martial arts. So obviously, he can take whatever digs at one he wants. I'll take a dig at his leg kicks. I'll post a video of me kicking, doing leg kicks, and let's see if he can do a leg kick.
Thank you.
Or I'll do a picture of me rolling, a video of me rolling, and let's see if Dana can roll.
Thanks,
Or I'll roll
Chatri.
with him. Or I'll leg kick him.
Thank you.
Chatri, this next one is from Ivan Degad, Philippines. The question is, considering what happened to Christian and Denise earlier this month, are you now looking to review one scoring rules and possibly make amendments?
Sorry, I didn't catch your question.
This question is from Ivan Degad, Philippines. Considering what happened to Christian and Denise earlier this month, are you now looking to review one's scoring rules and possibly make amendments?
No, the scoring system of one is based on the roots of martial arts. When you have a 10-point must system, especially for like mixed martial arts, you can have lay and pray. And that is not, take down in the last 10 seconds, you take someone down and you win the round, and 3 rounds later, you win the fight. That's not martial arts to me. Like martial arts at the root of it is, can you defend yourself in a self-defense situation? If you think about 5,000 years ago in Asia, when martial arts was born, it's about that. It's rooted and across the entire continent of Asia, everyone learns martial arts for a real fight. And for me, our rules is about a real fight. It's not about a game, it's a real fight. And may the best man or woman win in a real fight. So that's why we judge the fight in its entirety. That's why a near finish, like a KO or submission or damage, is considered the most, in terms of weighting on our judging system. So it would be like a real street fight, right? Imagine you're in a street fight and for 14 minutes, there's dancing and he's just jabbing. And the last minute, you pick the person up, dump him on his head, ground him, pound him, and he's, barely conscious. Who won the fight? The guy who jabbed for 14 minutes and scored points, or the guy in 1 minute? Because if it was a real street fight, that's how it'd be judged, right? You'd be like, dude, the guy's out. So that is the kind of the ethos of real martial arts, is about, can you defend yourself in a self-defense situation? So that's what that's kind of that is the philosophy behind one.
Thank you for that, Chatri. We got one more question before we let you go. This last question is from Tudor Leonte of Sherdog. Tudor, please go ahead with your question.
Tudor,
excuse me.
Hello, sir, and congratulations on the recent event. It was one of the most entertaining I've seen in a while. My question here for you, is one planning to resort to pre-recorded events again in the future?
Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Is one championship planning to resort to pre-recorded events again in the future?
You never know because of COVID, right? I'm so grateful to the Singapore government for creating a bubble for one. So we've had all these events all along, but it's a crazy time all over the world. In Asia, all the borders are still shut. It takes special permission to fly and to enter a country and quarantine, all that stuff. And so we're all live now. Obviously during the height of COVID, we did have some pre-recorded shows, and it's just so we could get the volume of athletes competing is the essence of it. But if I look forward, I think the plan for one is to always be all live with the greatest martial arts on the planet. That's the game plan, right? That's always been since day one. It's just that we're in extraordinary times.
Thanks. And before the COVID-19 outbreak, I heard the rumors about a European debut for one championship. Is this something that is still interesting to you, to do in the future?
There are so many rumors about us going to this country or that country or this region or that region. I don't want to comment. We have tons of European fans. We have tons of North American fans and Latin American fans, and obviously fans across Asia. And I've made no bones about it. We do want to go to the US. Actually, we would have already been in the US if it wasn't for COVID, right? So yeah, I mean, Europe is Europe loves martial arts as well, and we have a lot of fans. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Chatri, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on the brown belt. See you soon.
Thank you, buddy. Take care.